What is your relationship with YoungBoy, if any?
Since y'all want to post everything, you'll post it. YoungBoy, my favorite rapper.
You are disqualified from saying anything to Kentrell. NLE Choppa, you have been disqualified.
NLE Choppa, and I got that found me, and I'm round Houston. What's up? Pussy ass. While we outside with that ready to quake out. Y'all know what the you did. You came and hid behind security. You was a.
Back in 2020, before the world turned their names into hashtags and diss records, NLE Choppa and NBA YoungBoy were two young kings walking the same road. Different cities, same hunger. They were both born into chaos, raised on rhythm, and driven by something bigger than fame. You could feel it every time they touched a mic. Raw emotion mixed with survival instinct. The world saw them as rivals before they ever did. At first, there was no hate, no envy. In fact, Choppa once said it plainly in a live stream that would later haunt him. "YoungBoy's my favorite rapper." It wasn't a line for attention, it was respect from one young star to another. But in hip-hop, respect can age fast. What starts as admiration can twist into comparison, and comparison can rot into resentment. The moment the internet noticed how similar they sounded, fans began drawing invisible lines. Every drop, every lyric, every hairstyle became ammunition for debates they never asked for. The comment sections turned into battlefields. "He's the next YoungBoy. He's copying the wave. He'll never be him." Those words started small, but they echoed loud enough to divide entire fan bases. What the audience saw as harmless arguments, the artists felt as pressure. Because no matter how talented you are, the moment someone tells you you're living in another man's shadow, pride starts whispering that you need to prove them wrong.
I ain't beefing with none fool unless blood get because I'm up. If blood ain't shed or if it ain't about money, cause I'm not beefing with none. I'm up cause but fool. I still crash on like I'm down though. You know what I'm saying? But since y'all want to post everything, you'll post it. YoungBoy my favorite rapper.
For Choppa, that pressure became impossible to ignore. He was still a teenager, still discovering who he was beyond the image the world built around him. Every interview, every comment about his resemblance to YoungBoy pushed him closer to the edge of identity and ego. Meanwhile, YoungBoy was rising fast, dropping projects that fed his legend and solidified his place as the voice of pain-driven youth. To fans, it looked like friendly competition, but inside that world, where respect means survival, it was starting to feel like something else, a silent rivalry neither of them wanted but couldn't escape. Both came from streets that don't teach patience, from environments where one misinterpreted look could turn peace into violence. So when comparisons kept piling up, it wasn't just words on social media, it was energy, heavy and contagious. The more their audiences clashed, the more their paths began to drift. Two men who might have been allies suddenly felt like reflections trapped in the same mirror, each trying to prove who was realer, who was harder, who deserved the crown. And that's how quiet storms begin, not with shouting, but with silence that grows too loud to ignore. Choppa kept watching YoungBoy's dominance unfold, and somewhere between admiration and ambition, the tone began to change. Interviews became guarded.
NLE Choppa homeboy in this running up on me. Hey, crack ass in this NLE Choppa, and I got that found me, and I'm round Houston. What's up? Pussy ass. Know what the going on with me, yeah. Free white B, 4K trade, nobody say. Yeah, his partner ran up on me, cracked him in the with a Hennessy bottle. Bust his little face all open, blood everywhere, and I got that found me. Is you if y'all hiding behind security, cuz on Jesus Christ, when we brought the out, y'all know what the you did. You came and hid behind security. You was a on Jesus. You hid behind security and threw a bottle in my head, but you gangster. You talking about, cuz nice ass. You doing this for real on Jesus. And your ass can't come to Memphis. You talking about you can't come to Memphis. Nice, cuz, bro. Great y'all at nice, cuz. Real talk, fool. Y'all, hey, but y'all, internet be quick to say I'm the hoe, but y'all just sing behind security. Y'all so dick ride, y'all dick ride so much, y'all gonna be on bruh dick, but this man on the fucking stairs while we outside with that ready to quake your but you in the stir behind security, and then you throwing bottles like a.
Posts became cryptic, and what was once open praise turned into distant neutrality. People could sense the shift even before it was confirmed. They didn't need a diss track to know tension was forming. It was in the pauses, the glances, the subtle hesitations when their names came up together. The foundation of respect was still there, but thin, cracking beneath the weight of expectation. That's the thing about rising too fast in the same space. The world doesn't let two young stars shine side by side. It turns them into opponents, whether they want it or not. And when the audience keeps asking who's better, sooner or later, one of them feels the need to answer. It wasn't hate that began their divide. It was misunderstanding, pride, and the crowd's obsession with comparison. But what neither Choppa nor YoungBoy realized yet was that this quiet tension was only the beginning. Because behind the numbers, the lyrics, and the comments, a fuse was already burning.
What is your relationship with YoungBoy, if any? Because like he clearly cared about it, right? So he dropped a record, clearly taking aim at you, right? He's basically like, yo, tell people that was your favorite. Yo, you don't pick sides of my beef.
Bro, I'm gonna be right here honest. That's one thing about me. I'm never no hater. I'm gonna keep it real. And that's all I'm gonna keep it. There's one thing about me you gonna take from NLE after every conversation, after every meeting. Nobody ever said he wasn't, cause he was. That used to be all I used to bump. You know what I'm saying? It's just certain stuff happened that in the mix of all that, when you blow up and you start to see how everything is or how everything work, that's when stuff get altered. Like, I ain't never say he wasn't. Always, you know what I'm saying, he was, but...
Would you have a private conversation with him, try to, you know the funny thing about like most of obviously between like say Dirk and YoungBoy, I don't think they'll have no conversation, because that's some shit.
It's because it's blood behind it.
You're right. As much as you Vaughn, and as much as you were standing up for Vaughn, you're not trying to you weren't trying to put out a message like, man, it's on site with YoungBoy. It's not. That's not what you're. So would you have a conversation with him to at least like, bruh, I used to be locked in with this dude Vaughn. Like, man, I'm gonna stand up for any disrespect
anybody
against
should respect that. Any man that got kids, they got a girl, whatever, you should be able to respect like. Somebody gonna stick up for that person like this. It's like one of my blood relatives, one of my folks got stepped on or something, God forbid, and somebody ain't really just have nothing to do with it, even though it came from your camp, it came from your folks. But at the end of the day, like, bro, the influence bro got, like, it's heavy, fool. All these kids seeing it, bro, like, they thinking this cool, fool. Like, it was at a point in time where, like, we knew it was smoke between them two camps.
It was theater, a symbol heavy enough to trigger every algorithm that thrives on outrage. It framed domination as art, humiliation as critique, and marketing as moral stance. That duality is why people couldn't look away. Was it cruelty or commentary? In one breath he mocked, in the next he sermonized about poisoned youth, suggesting the spectacle was a warning label for a culture high on chaos. The contradictions were deliberate. They forced the audience to debate intent while replaying the scene, which is exactly how virality compounds. Cognitive dissonance is a hook you can't stop chewing. Some applauded the courage to name the rot and dramatize its cost. Others saw only a crown made of someone else's head. Either way, the message hit its marks. Shock to ignite, symbolism to legitimize, repetition to cement. You could feel the rebrand click into place. No longer the kid searching for balance, but the architect of a darker gospel who insists the darkness is didactic. And beneath the noise sat the same timeless calculation that drives every public feud. If the culture demands a villain to authenticate a hero, who volunteers to play either role?
The final blow wasn't a punchline. It was a thesis about power, influence, and the price of inheriting a generation's anger. The piece had done its job by sharpening contrast. The return did the rest by making sure no one forgot who drew first blood this time, and by daring the other side to answer in a language the whole world could measure. Reactions came like weather fronts. Camps tightened their circles, issued careful posts, and let proxies do the loud talking. Family voices stepped in with heat that felt protective and combustible at once, turning private wounds into public theater. Fans did what fans always do when identity is on the line. They defended, denied, and doubled down. One side celebrated a bold stand against negativity. The other called it obsession dressed as morality. Comment threads became courtrooms where no verdict could hold because both juries were convinced before the trial began. Yet beneath the noise sat an uncomfortable truth. Chop was right to question the power of influence and the way violence can be packaged for young ears. He was wrong in how he staged the sermon. When a warning arrives as humiliation, the message bleeds before it reaches the heart. But this was never only about bars or stunts. It was about two mirrors facing each other.
Listen to me. You can't go walk the runway with that little walk. You remember that walk you had? I think I'm a bad bitch. You can't come back with that walk. I think I'm a bad bitch. You can't come back with that NLE Choppa with that boy. Now them boy got some dance. You went to holler about if you was a bad I suck my dick too. You are disqualified from saying anything to Kentrell. NLE, you have been disqualified. I would give you and King Von got in the car and shot them guns together. Once you learn that walk, like that runway model walk, and you went in front of the whole gay world, and they were whistling Dixie at your little yellow ass, you can't come back over here to this side of the railroad track and go to barking. No. Go back over there and finish sucking your dick, nephew. Go back over there and finish being a bad bitch and sucking your. All these little boys ugly. Ain't none of them handsome. And all of them mostly dark skinned. You better leave these little gremlins alone. Boy, they'll tear your ass out the mouth. The tour is almost over. NLE Choppa, let them boys enjoy a little bit of that money that boy finna give them. Them boys been doing bad since he been gone. So now they finna be able to get them some scat packs. Few of them might go sleep and buy some switches, but let them boy alone. Yeah, they but nigga, they got guns. Everybody know the pussy got the gun. Everybody know these little pussy ass little boy riding around with these goddamn switches and glitches on their goddamn head. So yeah, they pussy and they'll shoot your head too.
Multiplying pressure. Who gets to embody the new generation's pain, and who gets permission to translate it? In that reflection, validation mattered more than victory. Each artist fought to anchor an identity that fans had already scripted for them. Protector or provocateur, healer or havoc. That struggle is why the fuse finally screamed. So what do we learn standing in the smoke? Two young men born in collision, rewarded for intensity, punished for restraint, and asked to grow while millions keep score. Maybe the industry didn't build this cycle, but it profits when it spins. Maybe the audience doesn't cause the fire, but it loves the warmth. Is this about music, ego, or a culture that keeps confusing catharsis with chaos? The answer isn't tidy, and maybe it shouldn't be. Ambiguity is honest here. You can admire the courage to name harm and still reject the theater that made the naming go viral. You can honor the pain that shaped their voices and still ask whether that pain must be reenacted to be believed. If you're here for the truth beneath the headlines, lean in with us. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and add your voice below. Tell us what part of this story you think we're still afraid to say out loud. Share this with someone who thinks the internet knows the whole story. Tomorrow we go deeper, tracing how these narratives recruit the next generation and how artists can reclaim authorship without surrendering edge. The next chapter is already moving. Don't watch it secondhand. Be early, be sharp, and bring someone with you. If you made it this far, you're not just watching, you're thinking. You see through the headlines, the hype, and the noise. So stay with us. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and drop your thoughts below. What do you think this beef really says about the culture? Every comment adds another piece to the truth we're building together. Tomorrow's story dives even deeper. New names, new revelations, same raw honesty. Don't just catch up later when it's trending. Be part of the ones who already know. This is where rap's real stories live, and it's only getting started.